Hey, it's Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. This is going to be a two-part video blog, a special video blog that I'm going to do here. And this blog, I've had it going for the last 5 years. I've never meant it to be a device or an outlet for me to sell my listings. It's really a pay-it-forward thing for me. I've had a lot of people that have helped me over the years, and now I'm hoping to impart some of my knowledge and some of my experience over the last 20 plus years and help educate and steer people in the right direction. It's all about transparency here. I hope most people realize that. I think most do. So it's been a busy couple of weeks for me. I just added another investment property to my Vancouver portfolio. And so I wanted to talk about it here. What I bought, the cap rates, why I bought it, the neighborhood, and I'm going to do this in two parts. So here we go. I purchased a one-bedroom, one-bath, brand new unit in around the peripheral area of Falls Creek, Olympic Village, technically the Mount Pleasant area. So this is Ontario and West 2nd. Now, I bought this as a pre-construction unit. This unit is almost finished. It'll be complete in February of 2016. So let me rewind a bit here. People that have been watching my blog for a long time know that I'm not all that bullish on pre-construction, and I'm still not. Because most pre-construction that's going on right now in the downtown Vancouver area, generally you are buying these units before the developer even puts a shovel in the ground. So from the time you purchase it to the time you actually get the keys is anywhere between 2 to 3 years. That is a long way away, especially if you're buying a principal residence. Principal residence, I think you need it to be tangible. You want to see what it's at, what it looks like, touch the cabinets, look at the view. But this particular building was a little bit different. This developer, because it's a boutique building, 75 units, this developer built first, and now he just finally started selling these units 3 to 4 months before completion. So they started the construction on this building 18 months ago, and at that time I approached the developer because I was interested. I've been wanting to buy a unit in this area for quite some time now. I was told at that time that they're not going to sell these units. They're going to wait until towards the end of 2015, and so I kept in touch. These units finally went on sale a couple of weeks ago, and I purchased one. So here's what I bought. I bought a one-bedroom, one-bath, 520 square feet with a 30 square foot balcony, very nice finishings, stainless steel appliances, nice flooring, overheight ceilings, etc. I paid $368,000 for the unit with no parking. Now that's going to be part two. This is the first time I have ever, in all my years, ever bought any type of unit, whether for myself or an investment unit, without parking. And next week I'll tell you about my thinking behind that and why I think now the time is right for certain buildings in certain areas that you can get away with if you're an investor without having a dedicated parking spot. So back to this unit, I purchased it, I put 20% down, which you're going to need. If you're buying an investment unit now, you're going to have to take out a conventional mortgage. You'll also avoid the CMHC default insurance on it, which I don't want to pay for. But with 20% down, I will actually have a little bit of positive cash flow on this unit, which is all I want. I don't want very much positive cash flow. I like it where it's about break even, where what I'm getting in rent, which I think is going to be about $1,800 a month, it covers my mortgage payment, which is going to be about $1,400, which also includes your chipping down the principal there. The maintenance fee is $210 a month, and my property taxes will be about $100 a month. So all in, it's going to be about $1,750, and I'm pretty sure I can get about $1,800 a month rent. So I will have some positive cash flow there because my mortgage payment isn't all interest. It is going to be chipping off some of the principal. Not a lot in the early years, but it'll accelerate as we go on. So, and that's, as I say, is exactly where I want to be with it. My investment philosophy is always about just creating passive income and leveraging up, which I've done lots of blogs on before. That's the magic of real estate here. I'm taking possession of a $380,000 asset, and I'm putting $75,000 of my own money down. I'm borrowing the other 80% at 2.55%. So absolute record low interest rate. I'm locking that in for 5 years at 2.55. So it's going to create a little bit of positive cash flow. Here's the important thing that I want everyone to understand here, and some people just don't get it on my YouTube page here, but that's fine. I realize I'm never going to be able to connect with everyone watching my blog. Some people just aren't going to understand the mindset and how investing really works for the long term. I'm a long-term investor. This property I'm going to rent out and hold for 15, 20, 25 years. I don't know, I may never sell it. I just like the positive cash flow that comes out from it. That's what I live for. It's all about passive income. So I'm going to rent it out. I could care less in 2 years if the market goes down 20 or 25%. It does not matter even 1 iota to me. Why should it? This is an investment property. Even if it was my principal residence, I wouldn't care. The only time you're going to be worried if it takes a 25% loss is if you're forced to sell it and take that loss, which I'm not. This is a long-term holding property for me, added to my other rental properties I have in the Vancouver area. So as long as I've got it rented and I've got that positive cash flow, if the market goes down 20 or 25% 2 years from now, who cares? It's rented. I'm getting that revenue from it, that income. It'll bounce back. What I do know for sure is by buying this property now, I'm creating wealth 2 ways. The first way is that my tenant every month is giving me an $1,800 rent check, and that's chipping down the principal on my mortgage. Not a lot in the early years, but after 5 or 6 years, it starts to really pick up. The other way is through capital gains. And capital gains, I know that over the next year or 2, who knows what's going to happen with capital gains. The market could go up 20% from here. It could go down 20% next month or next year. I don't know. I don't care. All I do know is that in 10 years or in 15 years or in 20 years, the $368,000 I paid today is going to seem like a bargain. And that's something that everyone needs to understand in what I'm telling you here. This is just a rinse and repeat process for me. I buy a unit, after 5 years, it's gone up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 because the principal has been chipped down and the capital gain of the market has gone up. I just go back to the bank. I have another $40,000 or $50,000 I've saved from my job. Borrow against the rest and say, listen, I've got 50,000 equity in this one. I'm going to put another 20% down and buy another unit and do the exact same thing. This is called leverage, but it's more importantly, you're not overextending yourself here. You're putting 20% down every time. So this is how wealth is created. And I'm hoping people understand what I'm saying here and how it works. But this is, again, this is putting my money where my mouth is. Now, I didn't get any special deal on this unit. I bought this unit just like everybody else does. This neighborhood I am very bullish on right now for any young people that are looking to buy their first place, whether it's your principal residence or an investment. When it comes to an investment property, I always tell my clients, I like to use the analogy of Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was a magical once-in-a-lifetime player, and people that saw Wayne Gretzky play would say that the reason he was so special was Gretzky always never went to where the puck was. He went to where he thought the puck was going. And that's the same thing you want to do with real estate. 8 years ago, I was buying investment properties in the Gastown and the Crosstown area of downtown Vancouver, and I can tell you, the area was pretty rough back then. People were questioning me on why I would be buying in that area, and even I had to kind of second guess myself a little bit 8 years ago. But if you go into those areas now, of course, they've been completely gentrified. These are the hot neighborhoods now that young people and young professionals want to live in. Now, I'm seeing the same thing in this Falls Creek area, Mount Pleasant area, Main Street corridor. Do yourself a favor and go for a bike ride and ride around in there, and you'll see all the things that are starting to happen in that neighborhood. I think in another 5 to 8 years, that Falls Creek area is going to be one of the nicest and one of the best, most desirable neighborhoods in Vancouver. I really do. And I think at the $368,000 I'm paying right now for a brand new 1-bedroom and bath, it's a no-brainer for me. 20% down and I've got positive cash flow. It's just what I call a cream puff. I just rent it, hold it, and let time and compounding do all the magic. So that's where I'm at. Putting my money where my mouth is. Again, it's a long-term holding property for me. I could really care less what the market does in the short term. And that's the way you always want to look at it with real estate. Whether it's your principal residence or an investment property like this, just keep it for the long term, rent it out, get that passive income. You're going to do fantastic every time. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.